very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord, and in our news, 18 contenders, but only one will be crowned after tonight's 2019 Pick of the Crop Monarch competition. Thousands of revelers expected for the 4-day morning jam to the mighty Griner Highway. A call for Barbadians to have a greater appreciation for their history. And in sports, Barbados skeet shooters a bit off target today at the Pan Am Games.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC Newsnight, starting now.
In less than 1 hour, one of the biggest competitions of the crop over season gets underway. The 2019 Courtesy Pick of the Crop competition is a much anticipated event, and perhaps even more so this year as a result of some of the changes to that format. And that's where we begin this evening by taking you to the venue, Kensington Oval, where our very own Lisa Broom is standing by live. Good evening to you, Lisa. Lisa, can you hear me? Okay, well, we seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties. We will get back to Lisa in just a moment, but we'll take a break here. Evening, Lisa. Are you hearing me?
We're going to be playing that game. Lisa,
I'm hearing you, Lisa.
I think we're ready.
I can hear you.
We're here at the Kensington Oval, where we have a perfect picturesque view, a bird's eye view, if you will. Yes, I can hear you. Are we connected now? Okay, yeah, so we are ready then. So as I was saying, we are here at Kensington Oval. We're located in the media center, on the balcony of the media center, where we have a picturesque view, a bird's eye view actually, of the setup here at Kensington Oval as we await the start, scheduled for 8 o'clock, of the Pick of the Crop final. And when I came in earlier, it was about 5:30, and people were actually there lining up at the various gates. It wasn't really a big crush of people, but as time went on, we saw the front seats really filling up with people. People were excited to come in. There's actually a buzz as I walked around, try to get a feel of what has been happening. Now, it will be around 2 o'clock that we expect to get the result of the Calypso Monarch competition. It's been revamped. As you know, it is one song for the 2019 Courtesy Pick of the Crop competition, and the person that will be crowned, he or she will have the option of a brand new Nissan X-Trail, or they can have their pick of $100,000 in cash. And our Shane Jones takes a look at the field for this year's competition.
Finalists take to the stage at 8 p.m. in an attempt to dethrone reigning monarch Mr. Blood. There will be a great mix of new and old faces. The introduction of a larger field will see the most females at this stage. The 7 are Sammy Jane, Faith, TC, Terry, Crystal Cummins Beckles Holder, Miss Sammy G, and Donella. Now, the show is wide open, and there are 6 first-timers that are certainly no walkover, and they will be bringing their A-game to Kaiso's biggest stage. There are Ramazis, who has one of the most popular songs for the season, Terry, who has shown she is just as good as any and has moved on in her development since winning Junior Monarch back in 2017. The other 4 are Eric Lewis, who will be performing as Granny, Faith, Sammy G, and Jamal Slocum. Sammy Dello is not a first-timer, but it's his first time back since making the finals 20 years ago. There are also some acts that are back in competition that will be looking to get their hands on that top prize. Edwin Yearwood's vocal ability is always a major threat in any final, and he will be giving it his all along with Mr. Dale and the only man to have won a hat-trick of titles, Kid Sight. And of course, you can't count out the king, Mr. Blood. There's some big guns in the competition that everyone will be keeping their eyes on. The regular finalists. TC's Iron Lady will go into the final benefiting from a couple months of regular airplay. AC's Christmas in Cropover is reminiscent of songs he won his 2 titles with, and he's sure to be a crowd pleaser. Crystal has been having great tent performances all season, and Classics 1's song is easily one of the big ones for 2019. Donella was out of the blocks early and can move any crowd with her vocal ability. Jude is no newcomer to the final stage and will put down one of his trademark high-energy performances. MCTV will be carrying the final live on pay-per-view, and streaming is available at cropover.cbc.bb. Shane Jones, CBC News.
Well, Lisa, as I told you, there is a buzz here at Kensington Oval. And joining me now to give me some details about the competition is the NCS Corporate Communication Specialist, Simone Codrington. Simone, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So we are here. The time, appointed time, really, some will say is now. The competition is starting at 8 o'clock. How did things go in terms of the planning and getting ready?
Yeah, so as usual, we're always ready and willing, getting ready for the competition. As you know, it was one song and no semi-final this year, so when they were judged, the finalists are coming right here to leave it all on the stage. So far, I don't have the ticket sales to hand, but from all reports, the ticket sales have been going really, really good, especially today. You know, people wait to the last minute sometimes to buy their tickets, but have been going really, really well.
Yeah, we are Barbadians and we're kind of known for being last minute. So from what I'm gathering from you, the NCF is expecting tonight to be a success.
Well, of course, we're expecting it to be a success. A success. You know, you always hope for the best, so that's what we're going to do.
Now, this weekend is really the big wrap-up weekend for Crop Over. So the next major set of events would be Bridgetown Market. What can you tell us about preparations for that event?
Well, Bridgetown Market opened to the public today at 6. Tomorrow is the official opening with the ceremony, which starts at 4 o'clock, and there's going to be a parade on the street there. Of course, community groups and all that will be involved in the parade, and they're going to be up and coming up to Holborn. They start at the Courts playing field, they come up to Holborn, and then they make their way down to the last booth, I believe, and then they come right back up. So back to the Courts playing field. So I hope people that will come out and enjoy that also tomorrow. And Bridgetown Market, you know, as we said, we revamped Bridgetown Market this year. There are 4 zones, and in those 4 zones, there's just so much to see. There are 2 stages, the Romeo and Sir Don stage, right. And those 2 stages, you can expect some entertainment, lots of entertainment on there. And the big finale, I've heard Allison, who's the producer, talking about that all the time, you know,
Good.
The big crossfire,
yes.
Free party. Good. At the end.
So then we're expecting that to be exciting as well. Thank you very much, Simone Codrington, the NCS Corporate Communication Specialist. Now, we're also preparing for the 4-day morning jump, and the streets of Bridgetown will come alive, Lisa, as you could imagine. Later on, I want to say tomorrow, but it's really later on, 15,000 plus revelers are expected to be partying to the latest music en route to the Mighty Grinder Highway, and of course, they will all be covered in paint and powder. Now, this year's jump up has been extended by 2 hours and is expected to finish at 8 a.m. Many bands, including Insane and Contact, well, they say that they're ready to hit the road.
We're keeping the band small because it's our 2nd year, so we're focusing on 150 persons maximum. I am pretty much sold out right now. All my costumes are spoken for, yeah.
And how was it compared to last year?
Last year was a lot more trying. It was a lot harder last year, but because we already have our foot through the door, it was a whole lot easier. Folks already knew us, so they came out with a better response.
We don't really look to the 7 and the 8 and the 9 or the 1,000. We say for 4-day, we do 300-400, we good, because we go to have a good time and enjoy. As I tell people, 4 days where I personally enjoy myself, so I don't look to work hard for 4 days.
Yes, Lisa, so that is it. We've set the stage for you, the Pickety Crop competition tonight, 4-day morning, Bridgetown Market in between there. So it is shaping up to be a fantastically exciting wrap to Crop Over. Back to you.
Barbadians are being encouraged to have a greater appreciation for their history. This call from a representative of the Nation of Islam, Abdur Rahman, as Barbados observed Emancipation Day yesterday. He says people of African descent are still the most disrespected people on the planet, and we play a role in our own disrespect.
I mean, it's a crying shame that there's this small body of people to celebrate what should be the #1 appointment in our yearly calendar, Emancipation Day. But it demonstrates that the people are ignorant. The people do not know, the people do not appreciate our history. And if we did, brothers and sisters, then here today would be full.
The event, entitled Fire, Freedom and Fellowship, was organized at the National Cultural Foundation and featured performances from the likes of Adrian Green and the Pineland Creative Workshop. Chief Cultural Officer at the NCF, Andrea Wells, says it brought together predominantly Afro-centered faiths on the island, but also Barbadians who do not ordinarily follow these faiths.
Many of the participants have told me that I think it's a wonderful idea, it's a wonderful setting. Emancipation Day is 24 hours, and certainly we don't expect that this event will eclipse the traditional event that happens in the morning at Buster Statue, but we would like to get to the point, we dream of the day, when the entire day there are a series of activities in different sacred spaces celebrating this important milestone for Barbadians and indeed for humanity.
And yesterday's Emancipation Day bank holiday saw some Barbadians taking the opportunity to spend time with family and friends. One group was the early morning wall crawlers, whose members came together on Facebook through a shared love of the early morning radio show on Q100.7 FM with our very own Kirsten Bowen. 150 of them, their family and friends, gathered at CBC as their starting point for a scenic ride to various places of interest. President Rhonda Hines-Graham says their membership is not limited to Barbadians.
We have members here in New York, Fort Lauderdale, Canada, England. They're all over. People that listen to Q100.7, we are all family. We started out as strangers. As you will see today, many of us were strangers, but it's one big happy family.
And these visitors told our CBC team what they were looking forward to on the bus crawl.
I'm looking forward to seeing more Barbados. I got a chance to briefly drive across the islands a couple of years ago, but it's just so nice to experience the culture, the people, the music, the food. So just being with people is absolutely exciting to me.
I'm just looking forward to seeing more of Barbados. I haven't seen enough. I just came on Tuesday, so I just want to see more of the island. And I mean, the people I've met are so great, so beautiful. So more people. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Residents of Pegwell, Gibbons and surrounding Christchurch districts have been assured the best practices are being utilized as the multi-million-dollar BNTCL pipeline project continues. At a recent town hall meeting, residents got the opportunity to hear from officials and pose questions. One of the companies involved in the project is Infra, and its general manager, Roger Gill, says teams are working carefully to avoid damaging any water mains in the area.
If we know that where the anomaly is, we have to cross that area. The first thing we would do, we would investigate that using a compressor, which with a small bit. We know that the lateral services done by the Water Authority could be anywhere between 2 inches to 12 inches deep. So we will slowly investigate those areas. We are aware that the water mains are old, therefore we know minimum vibration is the best option. So the investigation process might be slower, but once we investigate that slower, the chances of any disruption are lower.
Regional stories now. First in Trinidad and Tobago, where chairman of the CLICO Policyholders Group, Peter Permel, is calling for a forensic audit relating to the handling of the bailout policies to over 50,000 policyholders. He made the appeal based on the findings of a report done by the Canadian Institute of Actuaries.
The report revealed that the external actuary of CLICO, Paul Ngai, pleaded guilty to numerous allegations of fraud and financial impropriety with respect to the handling of bailouts for policyholders from 2010 to date.
Failed to perform professional services with skill and care contrary to Rule 1 of the Rules of Professional Conduct. 3. Engaged in a professional conduct and committed an act that reflects adversely on the actuarial profession contrary to Rule 1 of the Rules of Professional Conduct.
Mr. Pirmel said one of the allegations outlined in the report, which Mr. Ngai pleaded guilty to, was misrepresenting the accurate policy liability policyholders were to receive.
Virgin Atlantic's sister company Virgin Holidays may be one of the first casualties of the decision by the British-based carrier to withdraw its services from St. Lucia. Virgin Holidays, which is a significant player in the tourism industry, may be doing less business on that island.
Despite what seems to be widespread support for the government's position of not granting Virgin Atlantic's demand for a 3-year, $20 million EC subsidy, questions abound about the negotiations. Why were top industry officials kept in the dark on the details of the negotiations? Who were the persons negotiating on behalf of the government? And why has Virgin Atlantic planned increased service to several Eastern Caribbean territories while terminating, as of June 7, 2020, its service to St. Lucia? The issue of the regional approach in dealing with powerful multinational corporations crops up again. This as the departure of Virgin Atlantic is proving to be far from the only challenge confronting the tourism industry.
Guyana's president intends to see the right to free education for locals restored. He says it is his mission to restore free education from nursery to university.
While there has been much talk about how Guyana will expend its oil revenue, one thing is certain, and that is profits from oil will go first and foremost into education. This is according to President David Granger, who was at the time addressing the congregation at a Glory Light Tabernacle's Emancipation Sunrise service at Plaisance.
Every citizen has the right to free education from nursery to university. It is my mission to restore that right to free education.
It's just a few days before the Grand Kaduma Parade, and I'm here with Trevor Chase from the band Outrage. Trevor, it's the last lap. How are preparations for that big day?
Well, all systems go at this point. We are just at the culmination of our preparations. You can see behind me, we have turned our attentions to the big costumes, where we have done very well over the years and hope to continue in that vein. We are noticing a build-up now of people just calling to find out what else is left. So the anticipation is correct, the rush is on, and we are hoping that by Sunday night we can be drinking our champagne, saying that we run the course and we are ready for the road.
Chase expects better results this time around.
Last year we were only able to finish individual for the females, but this year we've gone 2 steps further. We have 2 for the females and 1 in the male section, and we are hoping that our trend keeps alive, because we are always in there. If it's not a first, it's a second. It could be a third.
But he wants more done to keep the creativity in mass alive.
I would implore people, and I would implore the NCF to look favorably if they want this part of the mass, the part of the Kaduma to flourish again. Incentives. Look at $25,000 for the best individual on the road. Bring back the king of the band, and I'm guaranteeing you, within 2 to 3 years, if you're still here, you're going to see an influx of this type of mass. And that's what drives the festival.
From the mass now to the party.
This is Philemon Springer, and I've been here 25 years. I live in Lake Elsinore, California, and what California ain't got nothing. We went to Hollywood Carnival, it wasn't nothing like this.
The Carnival season has been really good this year. The new venue for Soca Monarch has been amazing. The fets have been good. As you can see, I'm injured, I'm on a crutch, and I am still out partying.
Coming again next year, again for the vibes, for the music, for just having enjoyment, and no matter where you're from, Barbados will always welcome you.
I love the culture, I love the fun. You can't do this until 3 or 4 in the morning anywhere else like this.
I'm gonna let everybody know in the States that this decisions is where you need to be, okay?
We doing this thing the right way. Enjoy, be safe, peace and love.
All the girls in the gym right now. Keep grinding. Keep grinding.